The world around you is busy, and yet, as you sit back into your space, there's a profound shift that happens. A gentle hush falls over everything. The constant hum of life, the swirl of activity, the buzz of thoughts, all fade away as you close your eyes and take a slow, deliberate breath. You feel the weight of the day begin to lift, and with it, a soft release of tension starts in your body. The muscles in your shoulders relax, the jaw unclenches, and your breath becomes more natural, slower, as if you're being carried away on a quiet tide of calm. In the silence, you realize that your mind, which had been churning with thoughts, is now like a still lake, its surface smooth, without a ripple. This is the doorway to stillness, the threshold that invites you to step beyond the noise of the world and into a sanctuary of peace. This silence is not empty, it's a space filled with potential, a space that allows you to reconnect with yourself, to retreat into your own inner world where creativity can thrive. The quiet that surrounds you is not the absence of sound, but a presence in itself. The hum of life may be far away, but here, in this moment, you are alone with your thoughts, free from the pressure of external distractions. You begin to realize how rare these moments of true silence are. The world is always clamoring for your attention, always pushing for more noise, more information, more demands. Yet here, in this quiet corner of time, there's nothing that requires you to act. No expectations. No rush. Only the gentle invitation to simply be. As you settle deeper into this peaceful space, you begin to notice the subtle changes that happen within. The restlessness that once filled your mind begins to dissolve. Your thoughts, like scattered leaves in the wind, slow down, and one by one, they gently land. Ideas begin to take form, not from the chaos of the world, but from the stillness within you. The quiet has made room for them, giving you the space to think more clearly, to see things with fresh eyes. The silence isn't just a backdrop, it's a vital part of this process. It's like the calm before a storm, but the storm here is one of creation, not destruction. This is the moment before the floodgates open, the moment when everything is quiet and poised, waiting for the first burst of creativity to break through. You may not feel it yet, but in this moment of peace, your mind is laying the foundation for the ideas, the solutions, the visions that will come to you in the moments that follow. You can feel your body sinking deeper into the stillness. The breath you take is deeper now, grounding you further into this space of calm. As your body and mind relax, you begin to sense the immense potential of this quiet. It's like a blank canvas, untouched and pure, awaiting the brushstrokes of your thoughts. The creative energy that was once clouded by the noise of the world now has room to spread, to grow, to take shape. As the stillness deepens, you notice how your thoughts begin to slow even more. The usual noise in your mind, the constant running dialogue, the mental clutter, it all fades, becoming distant echoes. It's as if your mind is shedding layers of distraction, letting go of everything that isn't needed. The result is a mind that is sharper, more focused, more in tune with its creative energy. The ideas that seemed elusive before now feel closer, like stars twinkling in a clear night sky. They've always been there, waiting for the right moment to shine through the darkness. And here, In this moment of quiet, you realize that the absence of noise doesn't mean emptiness. Instead, it's a space brimming with possibility. Your mind, free from the constant push and pull of external influences, can now turn inward. It can reflect, process, and create. The silence is not merely the absence of sound, it is the presence of something deeper, something more profound. It is the fertile soil from which creativity can grow. As you sit in the silence, you may feel a sense of peace that you haven't experienced in a while. It's as if the world has paused for just a moment, giving you the space to breathe, to think, and to create. The thoughts that rise within you are clearer, more defined, more connected. Without the distractions of the world, your mind is free to explore, to dream, and to build. You can feel your imagination stretching, reaching out into this space of quiet. The silence is not just the absence of sound, it is the gateway to your creativity. It is in these moments of stillness that your mind is free to work, to wander, and to weave new ideas into existence. There is no pressure here, no expectation, no rush. Only you and the quiet, a perfect space for your creativity to flourish. As the minutes pass, the silence begins to wrap around you like a soft blanket. You realize that in this quiet, you have everything you need to create. You have the freedom to think, to explore, and to imagine without limits. Your thoughts are not rushed. They are allowed to unfold at their own pace, to grow and evolve naturally. In the stillness, there is no need to chase after ideas. They come to you softly, gently, like a stream flowing through a quiet forest. With every breath you sink deeper into this space, your mind growing more open, more receptive, more alive. In the silence, creativity becomes effortless. It's not something you have to force or chase, it's something that arises naturally, as the quiet allows your mind to connect with its deepest, most creative self. The more you embrace this stillness, the more you realize how much space there is for creativity to grow. And in this space, you are free to create, free to imagine, and free to let your ideas flow without hindrance. The quiet around you deepens as you allow yourself to settle further into this peaceful space. The absence of sound no longer feels like an empty void, but a fertile ground for your thoughts to grow and evolve. It's as if the silence itself is alive, speaking to you in a language that your mind is now able to understand. In the stillness, you begin to hear things you hadn't noticed before. The soft rhythm of your breath, the gentle rustle of air in the room, the subtle movement of your thoughts as they begin to clarify and sharpen. At first, the silence is almost overwhelming. The world you're used to, full of noise, chatter, and constant distraction, is now gone, leaving you alone with your thoughts. It's a disorienting feeling, but soon you realize that the silence is not a void to fear, but a space to embrace. It's in this silence that your mind finds its true voice. Your thoughts, which once seemed jumbled and chaotic, now begin to form into something clear, something meaningful. It's as if the silence is coaxing them out, giving them room to breathe, to grow, to become something beautiful. In the quiet, you find that your thoughts begin to take on a new shape. They move with purpose, with clarity, as if they have found a path to follow. It's like being in a room full of clutter, and suddenly the clutter is cleared away, leaving you with only the things that truly matter. You can see your ideas more clearly now, each one distinct and separate, yet all connected in some way. The silence has made it possible for you to focus, to filter out the noise, and to pay attention to the whispers of your own mind. This clarity comes not from forcing your thoughts to be organised, but from allowing them to emerge naturally, from giving them the space to grow at their own pace. The silence around you encourages this process, allowing you to listen to your ideas without interruption. You may notice how each thought feels more intentional, more purposeful, as if the quiet is giving them the time and attention they need to flourish. Ideas that once seemed fleeting now feel more substantial, like seeds being nurtured in the rich soil of silence. The beauty of this moment lies in the simplicity of the experience. There is no need to chase after your thoughts, no need to force them into being. In the absence of sound, your mind begins to work in its most natural state. You can feel it happening within you, the subtle shift as your thoughts become clearer, more refined, more ready to take form. You begin to realize that this silence is not merely the absence of external noise, but the presence of something deeper. It is the space where your creativity can be born, nurtured, and allowed to grow freely. As you allow yourself to become more attuned to the quiet, you may notice that the thoughts you've been carrying for so long, the ones that have been jumbled and fragmented, start to come together in unexpected ways. The silence allows for new connections to form, for ideas to collide and merge into something new. It's as if the quiet is giving your mind the freedom to explore, to play with thoughts and ideas, without the pressure of having to make sense of everything all at once. The more you listen, the more you realize how much is happening beneath the surface of your thoughts, how much is being created in this silent space. In these moments of quietude, your mind begins to speak to you in a way it never has before. The words, the images, the ideas begin to surface slowly, like bubbles rising to the top of a still pond. The longer you sit in the silence, the more these bubbles grow, becoming larger, more defined, more tangible. You might even feel a sense of wonder as you realize how much you've been able to uncover in this peaceful state. The silence has invited your mind to listen, to notice, to connect, and in doing so it has opened up new pathways for creativity to flow. But the beauty of this process lies in its subtlety. You don't need to force your thoughts into being. They simply arise, gently, like the first light of dawn. In the quiet, you begin to understand the rhythm of your own mind, the way your thoughts ebb and flow, the way they move from one idea to the next, like the soft ebb of waves on a quiet shore. Each thought seems to come with its own pace, its own energy, and in the silence, you can sense the perfect timing of each one. It's like watching the tide roll in, knowing that each wave is meant to arrive at just the right moment. As you become more comfortable in this space, you start to realize that your mind is capable of far more than you had imagined. The silence is not something to fear, but a tool to be used, a canvas upon which your thoughts can be painted. The clearer your mind becomes, the more you can see the vast potential for creativity that exists within you. Ideas flow more freely, more naturally, without the need for constant effort or control. They come when they are ready, when the time is right, and in this quiet space you allow them to emerge without interference. You may also notice how the quiet brings a sense of peace and calm to your thoughts. Without the constant buzz of activity and distraction, your mind feels lighter, more at ease. There's no urgency, no pressure to act. You simply exist in this moment of stillness, knowing that everything you need is already within you. The silence provides the space for your ideas to breathe, to grow, to take root. And with each passing moment, you feel more and more connected to your own creative potential. The ideas that come to you in the silence are often the ones that feel the most authentic, the most true to who you are. Without the noise of the outside world, you can hear your own voice more clearly, and it is in this quiet that your creativity finds its true expression. It is not shaped by the opinions or expectations of others, but by the whispers of your own soul. And in this space, you are free to create without limitations, to explore the endless possibilities that lie within. The silence is not just a backdrop for your thoughts, it is a collaborator in the creative process. It invites you to listen, to observe, and to connect with your own inner world in a way that is impossible when the noise of the world is overwhelming. It is in this space of quiet that your most authentic ideas can emerge, untainted by the distractions and demands of everyday life. The silence invites you to slow down, to take a step back, and to listen to the whispers of your creativity. As you sit in the silence, you begin to realize how much your mind has to offer. The thoughts that arise are not random or disconnected, but part of a greater whole, part of a larger creative process that is unfolding before you. The quiet has allowed your mind to find its rhythm, its flow, and in doing so, it has opened up new possibilities for what you can create. You are no longer bound by the noise, the distractions, or the expectations of the world. You are free to explore, to imagine, and to create in a space that is uniquely your own. Imagine for a moment that you are drifting in the vastness of space. The stars twinkle far off in the distance, each one a distant world, a spark of light in the infinite night. You are surrounded by nothing but silence. And yet, in this silence, there is a profound sense of peace. The quiet stretches out in every direction, boundless and infinite, just like your thoughts. Your mind, usually confined to the physical world, now feels as though it is free to roam the cosmos, expanding outward into the stars. In this silence, you realize that you are not bound by time or space. The universe, with all its vastness, is yours to explore. Each thought, each idea, is like a star waiting to be discovered. You are no longer limited by the noise of the world, no longer confined by the distractions of everyday life. The quiet around you provides the perfect backdrop for creativity to flourish, just as the night sky provides the perfect canvas for the stars to shine. As you drift further into this cosmic silence, you begin to feel the deep connection between your mind and the universe. Your thoughts, once confined to the small, everyday concerns of life, now feel as vast as the cosmos itself. The quiet is not just the absence of sound, but the presence of infinite possibilities. Your creativity, like the stars, can now stretch out and explore new ideas, new worlds, without limits. It's as if the silence has opened a gateway to your inner universe, where your thoughts can travel as far as the stars themselves. The silence of the cosmos is not empty. It is full of potential, full of energy waiting to be harnessed. Just as the stars are born from the cosmic dust, so too can your ideas be born in this space of quiet. The silence allows your thoughts to gather, to form, to take shape. Like the stars that slowly form from the nebula, your ideas begin to crystallize in the stillness, their outlines growing clearer with every passing moment. You may find that, in this cosmic quiet, your mind begins to stretch beyond its usual boundaries. No longer confined by the distractions of the outside world, your creativity can roam free. Ideas that once seemed impossible now feel within reach, like distant stars just waiting to be discovered. The quiet around you acts as both a canvas and a map, guiding your thoughts to places they have never been before. It's as if the universe itself is conspiring to help you create, offering you endless space to explore, to imagine, to innovate. As you float deeper into this cosmic silence, you may begin to notice how your ideas begin to form and connect in ways they hadn't before. Without the usual distractions, you are able to see the connections between your thoughts more clearly. It's as though the silence has cleared the fog, allowing your mind to see the bigger picture. The vastness of the cosmos, once overwhelming, now feels like a playground for your ideas, a place where anything is possible. Every idea, every thought, feels like a spark, a star waiting to be born. The beauty of this cosmic quiet is that it doesn't just expand your mind, it expands your heart. In the vastness of space, you begin to realize that your creativity is not just limited to your own mind, but is part of something much larger. Just as the stars are interconnected, so too are your ideas connected to the larger creative process of the universe. You begin to understand that your thoughts are not isolated, but part of a greater whole, a cosmic dance of creativity that stretches out across the stars. In this moment, you are not just an individual thinker, but a part of the universe's grand creative process. Your mind, like the stars, is a spark of light in the infinite darkness. And just as the stars contribute to the beauty of the night sky, your ideas contribute to the vast tapestry of creativity that exists in the universe. The quiet around you is the perfect space for your mind to expand, to stretch out like the stars themselves, and to explore new ideas, new possibilities, and new worlds of thought. As you continue to drift through this cosmic silence, you feel a deep sense of connection to everything around you. The vastness of space no longer feels empty or intimidating, but full of potential. The silence that surrounds you is not a void, it is a space filled with possibility, a place where creativity can flourish without constraints. The quiet is not just the absence of noise, but the presence of all that can be, all that you can create, all that you can imagine, and all that you can bring into being. In this cosmic quiet, you may find yourself feeling more alive, more attuned to the creative energy within you. The silence invites you to stretch beyond your limits, to explore the depths of your imagination, to let your thoughts soar like the stars in the night sky. With every breath, you feel yourself growing more expansive, more free, more connected to the boundless creativity that exists within you and all around you. The quiet becomes a bridge, carrying your ideas from the deepest corners of your mind to the farthest reaches of the universe. The silence in this cosmic space becomes not just a tool for creativity, but a source of energy, a force that propels your ideas forward. It's as if the universe itself is whispering to you, urging you to create, to imagine, to explore. And in this quiet, you feel more connected to the flow of creativity than ever before. You realize that the silence is not an absence, but a presence that guides you, supports you, and helps you bring your ideas to life. As the quiet continues to deepen, you sense that your mind is becoming more attuned to the subtle rhythms of the universe. Your thoughts are no longer scattered, no longer overwhelmed by the noise of the world. Instead, they move with purpose, with clarity, and with an energy that feels almost cosmic in nature. The silence has unlocked something within you, something vast and powerful, something that allows your creativity to expand outward like the stars themselves. And so, As you float in the cosmic quiet, you begin to understand that your creativity is not limited by the world around you, but is part of a greater universal flow of energy. The silence that surrounds you is not just an empty space, but a boundless field of potential. And in this space, your creativity can grow, flourish, and expand as far as the stars themselves. The silence around you deepens, and with it, something remarkable happens within your mind. As the distractions of the world grow quieter and quieter, you feel a shift in your focus. The chaos of daily life, the clamour of thoughts, the constant demands on your attention, all begin to fade into the background. Your brain, once caught in the frenzy of activity, now enters a new state, one of calm and focus, like a clear pond reflecting the sky without a ripple. This is where the science of silence comes into play. Studies have shown that in quiet environments, the brain becomes more attuned to what it is focusing on. The absence of sound allows the mind to engage more deeply with a task, enabling creativity to flow with greater ease. It's as if the brain, unburdened by external stimuli, can now engage with its internal world, its vast network of ideas, more freely. In silence, the brain's ability to concentrate is heightened. There is no noise to distract you, no background chatter to muddle your thoughts. Without these distractions, your mind can shift into what scientists call a deep work state, a focused, almost meditative mode of thinking, where your cognitive resources are dedicated entirely to the task at hand. This state is the perfect environment for creativity to thrive. With nothing to interrupt your flow, your ideas can take shape, can evolve, and can expand. You begin to realize that creativity is not always about forcing ideas into existence. Often, it's about creating the space for them to arise naturally. Silence provides that space. It allows the mind to breathe, to wander, to explore without constraints. The brain in this environment becomes a finely tuned instrument, able to tap into the most creative parts of itself with ease. The quieter the environment, the more your brain can focus its energy on solving problems, imagining new possibilities, and coming up with creative solutions. In the absence of sound, the brain becomes like a well-calibrated machine, its gears turning smoothly without friction. It is in this silence that the most innovative ideas often arise, not when you are trying to force them, but when the mind is allowed to flow freely, uninterrupted. The silence gives your mind permission to relax, to stop worrying about the noise of the world, and to focus entirely on the task of creation. As you settle deeper into the quiet, you may begin to notice how your brain works differently. Your thoughts seem more organized, your focus sharper, and your ideas more connected. It's as if the silence is helping you to see the world differently, to make connections that you might have missed before. The absence of noise allows your brain to filter through the clutter and find what truly matters. The mind becomes more selective, more intentional about where it places its attention, and as a result, creativity flourishes. The scientific explanation behind this process lies in the way the brain operates in response to stimuli. When there is less external input, the brain is better able to process and prioritize information. It can zero in on what is important, allowing you to focus on a single idea or problem without being distracted by the constant barrage of noise. This is why silence is so powerful for creativity. It gives the brain the opportunity to do what it does best: think deeply, connect ideas, and come up with solutions. But silence also works in more subtle ways. It is not just about the absence of external noise. It is about creating an environment where your brain can make new connections, where creativity can flow without being interrupted. When you are surrounded by noise, your brain is constantly working to filter out irrelevant information. This takes energy, and that energy could be better spent on creating. Silence, in contrast, frees up this energy, allowing the brain to focus more deeply on the task of creation. You may also notice that in the silence, your brain becomes more attuned to its own rhythms. Your thoughts flow more smoothly, like a river winding through a quiet valley. The ideas that arise feel more coherent, more unified, as if the silence has brought clarity to your mind. Without the distractions of the outside world, your thoughts can connect more easily, leading to breakthroughs and insights that might have otherwise been missed. The science of silence shows us that our brains are wired for deep focus, but they need the right environment to tap into that potential. It is in the quiet that our brains can reach their full creative potential, unburdened by the noise of the world. The absence of sound allows us to listen to our own thoughts more clearly, to explore ideas more freely, and to create in ways that we never thought possible. As you continue to rest in the silence, you may feel a sense of wonder. It's as if your mind is awakening, slowly but surely, to the possibilities that lie within it. The creativity that you've been seeking is already there, just waiting to be unlocked. And all it takes is this quiet space, this absence of distraction, for your mind to open up and allow the ideas to flow freely. The quiet not only enhances your ability to focus, but it also gives you the freedom to explore new ideas without fear of judgment or interruption. There is no rush, no pressure to perform. In silence, you can take your time, letting your ideas form at their own pace, letting them grow and evolve without the constraints of the outside world. The brain, free from distractions, can work in its most natural state, uncovering creative solutions that might have otherwise remained hidden. In this way, silence becomes a tool for creativity, not just a passive state, but an active force that helps to unlock new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new ways of creating. It is in this space of quiet that your brain can work its magic, drawing upon its vast reservoir of knowledge and creativity to come up with fresh, innovative ideas. Imagine yourself standing on the shore of an endless, tranquil sea. The water is still, calm, and serene, mirroring the soft hues of the sky above. There are no waves, no ripples, just a vast expanse of perfect stillness stretching out before you. You breathe deeply, feeling the cool, salty air fill your lungs. And in this quiet moment, you realize something profound. The calm before the storm is not an absence, but a moment of gathering strength. Much like the sea, your creativity moves in cycles, with moments of peaceful calm followed by surges of intense energy. In this moment of silence, your creative energy is building, gathering strength beneath the surface. It's as if the stillness of the world around you is creating the perfect environment for your ideas to rise and flow with power when the time is right. This is the calm before the storm, the peaceful pause that allows everything to align. That gives you the space to prepare for the creativity that is about to pour forth. In the stillness, you begin to feel the subtle stirrings of inspiration beneath the surface. Your mind, once filled with distractions, now feels focused, attuned to the quiet space around it. It's as if the silence has given your creativity the room it needs to breathe, to gather itself, to gather strength for the ideas that are about to emerge. The stillness is not empty, it is full of potential, full of energy waiting to be released. Just as a storm forms over the ocean, building slowly and steadily, your creativity builds in the quiet moments. These moments of calm are essential for the surge of inspiration that will come later. The silence is not an end, but a beginning, a preparation for the creative ideas that will soon rise like waves crashing against the shore. In this peaceful space, you are gathering your energy, aligning your thoughts, and setting the stage for the creative surge that is about to happen. As you continue to sit in the silence, you can feel the tension building, not in a negative way, but with a sense of eager anticipation. Your mind is preparing for the surge of ideas, the flood of creativity that will come once the quiet is over. You may not know exactly what these ideas will be, but you can feel them stirring within you, rising from the depths of your subconscious like a wave about to break. The silence is gathering everything you need to bring your creative thoughts to life, and soon, when the time is right, they will rush forth in a powerful surge. You may notice how the silence amplifies your connection to your own creative potential. In this stillness, you begin to realize that you have the power to create anything, to explore any idea, to bring forth any vision that your mind can imagine. The silence gives you the freedom to explore without limitation, to dream without boundaries, and just like the calm before a storm, this peaceful space allows you to gather the energy you need to make those dreams a reality. The beauty of this moment lies in its simplicity. There is no rush, no pressure. The ideas that are waiting within you are taking their time to form, to grow, to find their perfect expression. And as you wait, you realize that the quiet is not a passive state. It is an active force, working within you to prepare your mind, your body, and your spirit for the creativity that is about to emerge. This is the calm before the storm, the space where your creative energy is gathered and ready to surge forth. In the stillness, your mind begins to settle into a natural rhythm. It's as if the silence is helping to clear away the clutter of thoughts, allowing your creative energy to focus. The silence provides the perfect environment for this, like a blank canvas waiting for the first brushstroke. In the absence of distraction, your ideas can take form, and the energy you've gathered can be channeled into something powerful, something meaningful. As you continue to breathe deeply, you can feel the tension within you beginning to build, not from stress, but from the anticipation of what's to come. The silence allows you to prepare, to gather your thoughts, to organize your ideas, and to wait for the perfect moment when your creativity will flow freely. The calm is not a void, but a moment of preparation, a space where everything aligns, where your mind is clear, and where your creativity is ready to burst forth in a wave of inspiration. This moment of calm is not just a pause, it's a necessary part of the creative process. Without these moments of quiet, your ideas would not have the time to gather, to form, to grow. Silence gives your mind the space to process, to reflect, and to prepare for the surge of creativity that will follow. And when the time comes, you'll find that your ideas will flow effortlessly, like a wave crashing against the shore, carrying with them the energy of all the quiet moments that have led up to them. The calm before the storm is where your creativity is born. In the silence, you gather your thoughts, your energy, and your inspiration, and when the time is right, your creativity will rise like a powerful wave, ready to break free and flood the world with new ideas, new possibilities, and new creations. In the stillness, your mind begins to unfold like a blooming flower, its petals opening one by one, revealing the depth of creativity within. The silence that surrounds you is not empty. It is full of potential. a vast canvas awaiting the brushstrokes of your thoughts. This empty space, so often seen as nothingness, is in fact the most fertile ground for your creativity. It's in this void that your ideas are born, nurtured, and allowed to grow. Imagine standing before a blank canvas, the white surface stretching out before you, untouched, waiting for the first mark to be made. The quiet around you is like that canvas, open, unmarked, and full of possibility. Just as the artist must first clear away the clutter to create, so too does your mind require a space of silence in which to create freely. It's in this empty space that your creativity finds its voice, unburdened by the distractions and expectations of the world. In the quiet, your thoughts begin to take shape. They rise from the depths of your subconscious, like seeds being nurtured by the rich soil of silence. Each idea is like a tiny sprout, fragile at first, but with the potential to grow into something beautiful, something unique. The silence gives your thoughts room to breathe, to expand, to evolve. There is no pressure, no rush, only the gentle unfolding of your creativity. This empty space is where your mind can play, explore, and experiment. Without the constraints of external noise, you are free to roam the vast landscape of your imagination, to wander through the endless possibilities that lie within you. Silence provides the perfect environment for this, like a spacious room where you can move freely, unencumbered by the walls of distraction. In this space, your creativity can stretch, take risks, and evolve into something entirely new. As you rest in this peaceful space, you realize that the quiet is not a passive force, but an active one. The emptiness around you is not a void to be feared, but a space to be filled with your own ideas, your own creative energy. The silence invites you to step into it, to claim it as your own, and to fill it with the beauty of your imagination. It is in this space that your most profound ideas are born. Ideas that may have been waiting for the right moment to emerge, waiting for the quiet to provide the space they need to grow. You may find that as you sit in the silence, your thoughts begin to flow more freely. The clutter of the outside world has been cleared away, and your mind is free to explore. It's as if the silence provides a kind of mental space. A place where your thoughts can connect, overlap, and intertwine. Ideas that once seemed disconnected now form a tapestry, each thought linking to the next, creating a pattern that is uniquely yours. The quiet space allows your ideas to take shape and form, like clay being moulded by the hands of an artist. In the absence of noise, your mind can move at its own pace. There is no urgency, no need to rush. The silence allows you to take your time, to think deeply, to reflect. It's in these moments of stillness that you are able to see things more clearly, to understand the connections between your thoughts and ideas, to see the bigger picture. Your creativity is no longer constrained by the pressure to produce or perform. It is free to unfold naturally, in its own time. The power of empty space lies in its ability to give your mind the freedom to create. When there are no external distractions, your thoughts are free to wander, to experiment, to evolve. You can explore new ideas without fear of judgment or failure, knowing that the silence will always provide a safe space for your creativity to flourish. In this empty space, there is no right or wrong, only the opportunity to explore, to imagine, and to create. As you sit in the quiet, you may feel a sense of peace wash over you. The pressure of the outside world has melted away, leaving you with only your thoughts and the endless possibilities that lie within them. You realize that the silence is not something to be filled with noise, but something to be filled with your own ideas. It is your personal space, a place where your creativity can thrive without interruption. The silence is your canvas, your playground, your sanctuary, and in this space you are free to create whatever you desire. The quiet allows you to connect with your true creative self, the part of you that is unburdened by the noise of the world. It's in this empty space that your most authentic ideas can emerge, untainted by the distractions and influences of the outside world. The silence gives your creativity the room it needs to grow, to evolve, to find its own unique expression. In this moment of stillness, you begin to understand that your creativity is not limited by the world around you, but by the space you give it to grow. The silence is the space in which your ideas can take root, bloom, and flourish. It is the fertile ground from which your creativity grows. And in this quiet space, you are free to explore, to imagine, to create, without limits, without boundaries, and without fear. As you continue to rest in the silence, you begin to feel a deep sense of connection to your own creative process. The empty space around you is no longer a void, but a canvas for your mind to fill with the beauty of your ideas. The quiet provides the perfect environment for your creativity to unfold, unhurried and unrestricted. It is in this space that your most brilliant ideas can emerge, and it is in this space that your creativity can thrive. The power of empty space is not just in the silence itself, but in the freedom it gives you to create. It is in the quiet that your mind can move freely, unburdened by the noise of the world, and it is in this freedom that your creativity can truly shine. The silence is your canvas, your sanctuary, and your creative playground. In this space, there are no limits to what you can create. In the vast silence around you, there is a subtle sound, a soft, almost imperceptible whisper. It isn't loud or intrusive. It is gentle, like the wind moving through the trees or the soft rustling of leaves. These whispers are not words, but ideas that float through the quiet, finding their way into your mind. You may not be able to pinpoint exactly when they arrive, but suddenly they're there, like a secret message carried on the wind. The beauty of this moment lies in its quiet subtlety. These whispers of inspiration are not something you can force or demand. They come to you in their own time. When the mind is open and the space is clear, it is in this silence, this absence of noise, that the mind becomes more receptive to these ideas, these gentle nudges from the subconscious. The silence itself seems to amplify the softest of thoughts, allowing them to be heard clearly, even though they come from the depths of your own mind. You might find that as you listen closely to these whispers, your thoughts begin to flow more freely. The inspiration that arises is not forced, but gently nurtured by the stillness. It's as though the quiet is coaxing your mind into a state of receptivity, a place where ideas can surface without interference. The more you embrace the silence, the more these whispers grow, becoming clearer, more distinct, more powerful. These ideas that come to you in the quiet are not random or disconnected. They are seeds that have been planted in your mind, waiting for the right moment to grow. The silence provides the space for these seeds to take root, to begin to sprout and expand into something bigger. Just like a garden, your ideas need space to grow, time to develop, and the nurturing quiet of silence to flourish. As you sit in this peaceful moment, you may begin to notice how your mind works differently in the absence of distraction. Without the constant noise of daily life, your brain is more attuned to the subtle messages of inspiration that are floating just beneath the surface. These whispers of creativity might arrive in the form of a new idea, a fresh perspective, or a solution to a problem that had been lingering in your thoughts. In the quiet, these ideas can take shape naturally, without the pressure or urgency that often accompanies them in a noisy world. You might feel like you are in tune with something greater than yourself, like the quiet is not just an absence of sound, but a presence, a force that is guiding you toward new possibilities. The whispers of inspiration are like the softest breeze, gently guiding you in the right direction, leading you toward new creative pathways. These moments of inspiration are not about force or struggle. They are about surrendering to the quiet, allowing your mind to open, and letting the ideas come to you when they are ready. As you let yourself rest deeper into this silence, you realize that inspiration doesn't have to be loud or demanding. It doesn't need to come in a dramatic burst. Sometimes the best ideas are the quietest, the ones that sneak up on you when you least expect them. It's as if the silence creates the perfect environment for these whispers of creativity to arise naturally, without the need for external validation or recognition. They simply exist, waiting for you to listen, waiting for you to give them space to grow. You may also notice how the act of listening itself becomes a creative practice. The more you listen to the silence, the more you begin to hear, not just the whispers of inspiration, but the deeper truths that lie within you. The quiet becomes a mirror, reflecting your inner thoughts, your desires, your creative potential. In the absence of outside noise, you are left with only your own voice, your own ideas, and the deep well of creativity that resides within you. The silence gives you the opportunity to tune into this voice, to hear what it has to say, and to follow it wherever it leads. As you listen, you may feel a sense of wonder wash over you. The quiet, which once seemed like an emptiness, now feels full of possibility, full of ideas, full of inspiration. It's as if the silence has given you access to an endless reservoir of creativity, waiting for you to dip into it, to explore it, to bring it to life. The more you listen, the more you realize that the quiet is not just a passive space. It is an active force that is guiding you, leading you toward your most creative self. In these moments of deep quiet, inspiration flows freely, and you are able to catch it like a breeze that is always just within reach. The ideas that come to you now are not the loud, chaotic thoughts of everyday life, but the soft, subtle insights that have been waiting for this moment of stillness to emerge. It's in this peaceful space that your creativity can truly flourish, unencumbered by the noise of the world. The whispers of inspiration that arise in the quiet are not to be ignored. They are the voice of your creativity, speaking directly to you, guiding you toward new creative endeavors. In this moment, you realize that the silence has opened a door to something deeper, something more profound. The more you listen, the more you are able to hear, and the more your creativity will continue to grow, guided by these soft, gentle whispers. As you sit in the silence, you begin to feel a subtle shift within. The external world, so often chaotic and demanding, fades further away. What remains is a space of profound stillness, where your thoughts begin to turn inward. In this quiet, your mind finds its true rhythm, and your creativity begins to bloom, not in the loud, disruptive way that we often expect creativity to manifest, but in a quiet, gentle unfolding, like a flower slowly opening to the first light of dawn. This quiet space is where your true creativity resides, where imagination springs from the depths of your soul, untouched by the noise of the outside world. It is here, in the stillness, that you begin to understand the connection between your creativity and your deepest self. Your imagination is not a force that must be forced into existence. It is a living, breathing part of you, waiting for the right moment to emerge. The silence provides that moment, the space for your imagination to stretch, to grow, and to take root. You may begin to feel that your creativity is not something separate from you, but something intrinsically tied to your very being. It is not an external force that must be summoned or created. It is something that exists within you, a natural extension of who you are. As you rest in the quiet, you realize that your imagination is not just a tool, but a part of your essence, a reflection of your deepest thoughts, desires, and potential. In the absence of noise, you are able to hear the whispers of this inner world, and you begin to see how it has always been there, waiting for you to listen. In this stillness, your creativity begins to feel like a seed, lying dormant in the soil of your mind, waiting for the perfect conditions to grow. The quiet provides the nourishment your imagination needs to thrive. Just as a flower needs the stillness of the night to bloom, your imagination requires this silence to fully awaken. Without the distractions of the world, your mind is free to wander, free to explore new ideas, new thoughts, new visions that were once hidden beneath the noise. As your thoughts begin to slow, you notice the subtle, almost imperceptible stirrings of inspiration within you. These are not loud, dramatic ideas that demand attention. They are small, quiet thoughts that float into your awareness like seeds carried by a gentle breeze. At first, they seem insignificant, just whispers of ideas, fleeting and soft. But in the stillness, you are able to hear them clearly. You can feel the energy of these ideas, how they begin to grow and evolve in the quiet space around you. There's a sense of wonder that accompanies these moments of stillness. As you sit quietly, you realize that your creativity is not bound by time or space. It exists within you, always present, waiting for the right conditions to emerge. The silence is not an obstacle. It is the very foundation that allows your imagination to bloom. Like a flower growing in the dark, your creativity thrives in the quiet, slowly unfurling its petals and revealing the beauty that lies within. This quiet space is the birthplace of your most authentic ideas. It is here that your true creativity is allowed to flourish, free from the constraints and pressures of the outside world. You begin to understand that your imagination is not something to be forced or controlled. It is a natural process, one that requires patience, space, and time. The silence provides these essential elements, allowing your creativity to grow at its own pace. You may feel a sense of peace wash over you as you realize the deep connection between your imagination and the quiet. In the silence, there is no rush, no expectation. Your creativity is allowed to grow at its own pace without the pressure of external forces. You begin to understand that true creativity does not come from constant striving or effort. It comes from allowing yourself the space to imagine, to dream, to explore. The quiet is where your imagination is free to roam, free to wander, without limits. In this space, your thoughts begin to take on a new form. The ideas that emerge in the silence are more vivid, more alive, more connected to the essence of who you are. Without the noise of the world, you are able to see your ideas more clearly, to understand their true potential. It's as if the silence has cleared away the clutter of everyday life, leaving you with the pure, unfiltered essence of your creativity. The quiet also invites you to be more present with your thoughts, to pay attention to the subtle shifts in your mind. As your mind becomes more attuned to the stillness, you begin to notice how your creativity moves through you. It's not a forceful or chaotic energy, but a gentle, steady current that flows softly through your consciousness. The silence allows this flow to be uninterrupted, to move freely without resistance. In the quiet, your creativity is not constrained by time, by expectations, or by the noise of the world. It is free to move, to evolve, and to create in its purest form. In this stillness, you realize that your creativity is not something that you must control or force. It is a natural process, a flow that emerges from the depths of your inner world. The silence is the perfect environment for this flow to unfold, allowing your creativity to expand, to grow, and to reach its full potential. Just as a flower needs the quiet darkness to bloom, your imagination needs the silence to fully awaken. As the silence deepens, you feel your mind and creativity coming into alignment. Your thoughts become clearer, more focused, more connected to the deepest part of you. You realize that your creativity is not separate from who you are, but a part of your essence, a reflection of your inner world. And in this moment of stillness, you are able to tap into that well of creativity, allowing it to guide you, to inspire you, and to help you create something truly beautiful. The quiet, in all its stillness, becomes the fertile soil in which your creativity can grow. It is in the silence that your imagination finds its true expression, and it is in this space that your most profound ideas can emerge. The flower of your creativity blooms in the quiet, slowly and steadily, revealing the beauty that lies within. As you continue to rest in the quiet, you begin to realize something profound. Your mind, free from the constant input of the external world, begins to function in a completely different way. In the absence of noise, your brain is able to disengage from the distractions that usually dominate your thoughts, and instead it shifts into a deeper, more focused state. It's as if the constant pull of the world has been lifted, allowing your mind to return to its natural rhythm, free from the usual clutter. In the stillness, you feel a deep sense of release, as though your mind is unplugging from the external noise that usually takes up so much of your attention. The constant barrage of information, the sounds, the thoughts, all begin to fade, leaving you with a sense of mental clarity and focus that you might not have realized you were missing. The quiet, you realize, is giving your brain the space it needs to fully engage with your own inner world. Without the distractions, your creativity can emerge naturally, without being diluted or interrupted by external factors. This process of unplugging is a key part of creativity. Your brain is not a machine to be constantly fed with information. Rather, it is a vessel that requires moments of stillness to fully process and create. In these moments of quiet, your mind has the freedom to wander, to explore new connections, and to process all the ideas that have been swirling beneath the surface. Without the interference of external noise, your brain becomes more attuned to the subtle rhythms of your own thoughts. It's like tuning a musical instrument. When the noise is removed, you can hear the true melody of your creativity. As you sit quietly, you may begin to notice the shift in your thinking. Thoughts that once seemed fragmented or disconnected now begin to come together in new and surprising ways. The silence has given your mind the space to weave these ideas into something coherent, something beautiful. It's as if, in the absence of external noise, your mind has become more organized, more focused, more able to follow a single thread of thought to its natural conclusion. Ideas that once felt distant or unattainable are now within reach, like distant stars that you can now see clearly in the quiet night sky. The true magic of silence lies in its ability to allow your mind to process and connect ideas without interruption. Your brain, unburdened by the distractions of the outside world, can focus entirely on the task at hand, allowing creativity to flow more freely. It's as if the silence is providing a safe space for your ideas to grow and evolve. The ideas that arise in this stillness feel more grounded, more solid, because they have been allowed to develop in an environment free from the noise that usually surrounds them. As you unplug from the noise, you may feel your mind becoming more open, more receptive to new ideas. The quiet allows you to approach problems from a fresh perspective, to see things that you may have overlooked in the rush of everyday life. When the noise is removed, your mind becomes more alert, more tuned in to the subtle details that often go unnoticed. It's as though the silence acts as a magnifying lens, bringing into focus the creative potential that was always there but hidden beneath the clutter. Without the constant pressure to perform or create, your mind can explore ideas without judgment. It is in this space of mental freedom that creativity flourishes. There is no rush, no deadlines, no need for validation. There is only the quiet and the endless possibilities it offers. In this space, your creativity is free to flow unhindered, moving in any direction it chooses without the constraints of external expectations. Your mind is not confined by the boundaries of what is possible. In the silence, everything is possible. This freedom, this mental unplugging, allows your creativity to roam far and wide. Ideas that seemed impossible or impractical before now begin to feel attainable. You may find yourself imagining new worlds, new ways of thinking, new solutions to old problems. The silence has removed the barriers that usually stand in the way of creative thinking. With those barriers gone, your creativity is free to expand and explore, reaching new heights you may not have thought possible. In the stillness, your mind is no longer distracted by the constant noise of the world. It is free to focus entirely on the task at hand, to delve deeply into the well of creativity within you. You begin to understand that true creativity comes not from trying to force ideas into existence, but from allowing them to emerge naturally, in their own time. The quiet gives your ideas the space they need to grow and develop, free from the interruptions and distractions that often cloud the creative process. As you continue to rest in the silence, you feel a sense of ease and peace settle over you. Your thoughts flow more easily, your mind more focused, and your creativity more vibrant. The quiet has become a partner in the creative process, helping you to unlock new ideas and new perspectives. Without the external noise, your mind is free to explore, to imagine, and to create in ways that would be impossible amidst the clutter of daily life. It's in this peaceful, unplugged state that your mind is able to make connections, to see patterns, and to develop ideas that might have previously been out of reach. The silence, far from stifling creativity, has given it the space it needs to thrive. In the absence of noise, your creativity becomes more grounded, more focused, and more powerful. The quiet has allowed your mind to unplug, to rest, and to refuel, creating the perfect environment for your creativity to flow freely. As you sit within the stillness, you begin to feel a subtle shift in the flow of your thoughts. In the absence of noise, your mind begins to move more smoothly, as though it has found its natural rhythm, like a river flowing effortlessly through a valley. Each thought seems to glide effortlessly from one to the next, with no barriers, no interruptions. It's as if the silence has cleared away the clutter and allowed your mind to move freely, unrestricted by the constant pull of external distractions. Imagine the river of your thoughts, its gentle current carrying your ideas downstream. The water, calm and clear, reflects the clarity of your mind. There is no turbulence here, no choppy waters. The quiet around you is like the smooth surface of the river, inviting your thoughts to flow freely without resistance. Ideas come to you naturally, one after another, building upon each other as they move along the river of your mind. In this state of calm, creativity flows easily, unimpeded by the noise and chaos of the world. The stillness provides the perfect environment for this smooth flow of thought. Without the constant disruptions of sound and distraction, your mind is able to fully immerse itself in the task at hand. The current of your thoughts moves steadily forward, with each idea flowing seamlessly into the next. You no longer have to struggle to find clarity or make sense of your thoughts. The silence has created the space for them to unfold effortlessly, like the river's current that guides the water to its destination. As your thoughts flow more freely, you may begin to notice how the ideas you are thinking about start to evolve. The silence allows your ideas to take shape, to develop more fully, as though they are gaining momentum with each passing moment. What was once a vague notion now becomes clearer, more defined. Your creativity moves forward in the same way, evolving naturally, growing stronger with every step. The more time you spend in this quiet space, the more your ideas take root, allowing you to see connections you may not have noticed before. The beauty of this flow lies in its natural progression. Your thoughts, once scattered and fragmented, now seem to form a cohesive whole. The silence acts as a guide, allowing your creativity to move forward in a steady, organic manner. It's not forced, not hurried, but rather it evolves at its own pace. This natural flow of thought is the perfect environment for creativity to thrive. In this space, you can think deeply, without the distraction of external forces, allowing your ideas to develop and evolve freely. In the quiet, your thoughts are free to wander, to explore new possibilities, to connect disparate ideas that might have seemed unrelated before. The absence of noise allows your brain to make these connections without the interference of outside distractions. Each thought flows into the next, and you begin to see the bigger picture. The ideas you are developing are no longer isolated. They are part of a larger creative process, one that unfolds naturally and effortlessly, like the river flowing to the sea. The calm flow of your thoughts also allows you to focus more deeply on the task at hand. Without the usual distractions, your mind is able to fully engage with the creative process. You may find yourself lost in the flow of your thoughts, moving from one idea to the next with ease. The silence has created a space where your mind can focus completely, allowing you to tap into your full creative potential. This deep focus allows you to see your ideas with greater clarity, to refine them and bring them to life. As your ideas flow more freely, you begin to feel a sense of connection to your own creativity. The silence has opened the space for your thoughts to evolve, to move forward, and to reach new heights. You realize that in this state of calm, your creativity is not something that you have to force or control. It is a natural flow, something that comes when you allow yourself the space and the quiet to fully engage with it. You may notice that, as your thoughts continue to flow, you feel more connected to the process of creation. There is no pressure, no rush. The ideas come to you at their own pace, evolving and growing naturally. The silence has given your mind the freedom to explore, to connect, and to create without the usual constraints. In this space, your creativity flows effortlessly, and you begin to understand that true creativity is not about forcing ideas into existence, but about allowing them to come to you when the time is right. The beauty of this creative flow lies in its simplicity. There is no need to overthink or to push yourself too hard. In the silence, your ideas simply emerge, like water flowing smoothly down the river. The more you embrace the quiet, the more you allow your thoughts to move freely, the more your creativity will flow. And as you continue to rest in this peaceful space, you begin to see the limitless potential of your own creative mind. In the quiet, you realize that you are not forcing your creativity. You are simply allowing it to flow naturally, like a river that knows exactly where it is going. The silence has provided the perfect environment for your ideas to grow, to evolve, and to flow freely, unimpeded by the distractions of the world. And in this flow, you are free to create, to imagine, and to bring your ideas to life in ways you never thought possible. As you sink deeper into this space of silence, you begin to notice the subtle symphony of sounds that exist within the quiet itself. It's not the clamour of the outside world, nor the overwhelming noise of everyday life. Instead, it's a more delicate and intimate sound, the hum of your own heartbeat, the soft rhythm of your breath, the quiet murmur of your thoughts as they begin to take shape. These sounds are not distractions, rather they form the backdrop of your creativity, gently guiding your mind into a state of deep focus and flow. In the quiet, you start to realize that silence is not empty. It is filled with the quiet music of your own existence, the soft, almost imperceptible sounds that are always present, yet often overlooked. As your mind quiets and your thoughts slow down, you can hear these sounds more clearly. It's as though your body and mind are working together, creating a rhythm that drives your creativity forward. Your heartbeat provides the beat, your breath fills the pauses, and your thoughts dance in time with the rhythm of the silence. The soft hum of your heartbeat becomes more pronounced in this quiet space. You feel it pulsing in your chest, steady and calming, like the rhythm of a gentle drum beat. It is a reminder that you are alive, that you are here, and that your creativity is tied to the very essence of your being. The rhythm of your breath, too, becomes a part of this symphony, slow and steady, in perfect harmony with your thoughts. Each breath you take is like a note played in a delicate melody, each inhale bringing you deeper into this creative space, each exhale allowing your thoughts to flow more freely. Your thoughts too begin to move in rhythm, as though they are part of a larger composition. At first they might seem scattered, disjointed, but as the silence deepens, you begin to notice how they start to connect, how they start to build upon one another, like notes in a symphony. One thought leads to the next, creating a melody of ideas that gradually grows in complexity and beauty. The silence around you is the perfect conductor, guiding each note, each thought, each idea into its rightful place. This symphony of the mind is a gentle, yet powerful, force. It is a reminder that creativity is not a sudden explosion of ideas, but a gradual unfolding, like the gentle rise of music building to a crescendo. The more you allow yourself to rest in the silence, the more you begin to hear the music of your thoughts, subtle at first, but growing clearer and more distinct with every passing moment. It is in the quiet that your creativity can truly sing, like an orchestra coming to life, its instruments blending together in perfect harmony. The beauty of this inner symphony lies in its simplicity. There are no complicated rhythms or chaotic notes. There is just the steady beat of your heartbeat, the soothing rhythm of your breath, and the quiet flow of your thoughts. Together, they form a delicate, intricate composition that guides your creativity forward. Each note is important, each thought a part of the larger whole. In the silence, there is no rush, no urgency. Everything has its time, its place, and in this perfect stillness, everything falls into place. You may begin to notice how your thoughts become more cohesive, more fluid, as they move in sync with the rhythm of the silence. Ideas that once felt disconnected now seem to find their place in this symphony, each one contributing to the overall harmony of your creative process. The quiet has provided the space for these ideas to flow together, to merge, to create something greater than the sum of its parts. In this silence, you are not forcing your creativity, you are allowing it to unfold naturally, like a song that plays itself, the notes coming together effortlessly. As the symphony of your mind continues to play, you feel yourself becoming more in tune with it. Your thoughts no longer feel scattered or fragmented, but like a well-rehearsed melody, moving in perfect time with the rhythm of the silence. Each idea flows seamlessly into the next, creating a steady stream of creativity that builds upon itself. The silence around you provides the perfect space for this flow to occur, allowing your mind to move without interruption, to create without limitation. This inner symphony is a reflection of your own creative energy. It is not a chaotic, disorganized force, but a calm, steady rhythm that guides you toward new ideas, new perspectives, and new possibilities. The silence, like a conductor, leads your creativity, helping it to unfold in the most beautiful, harmonious way. As you listen to the music of your thoughts, you begin to realize that your creativity is not something to be forced or rushed. It is a natural process, a gentle unfolding that happens when the conditions are right, when the mind is calm and the space is clear. In this quiet, you are free to create at your own pace, to let your ideas flow without the pressure of time or external expectations. The symphony of your thoughts plays on, and you are simply a part of it, moving with the rhythm, allowing the music to guide you. There is no need to control the flow. It is happening naturally, effortlessly, as your creativity moves in time with the silence. In this moment, you are fully in tune with your own creative energy, and the symphony of your mind is playing its most beautiful song. In the stillness, you find yourself alone, but not in a lonely way. The quiet solitude surrounding you is not a space of isolation or emptiness, but one of deep connection. As you sit in this silence, you begin to realize that in these quiet moments, something profound is happening. Just like a solitary candle in a dark room, your creativity begins to glow brighter, more intense, when you are alone in the silence. Solitude, it seems, is the perfect environment for your creativity to ignite. There is something about solitude that allows you to connect more deeply with your own thoughts, your own ideas. Without the influence of the outside world, you are free to explore the depths of your imagination, to venture into places you might not have dared to go before. It's in these quiet, solitary moments that your mind can truly reflect, process, and create in ways that are impossible when surrounded by the noise of life. The quiet offers you the freedom to explore your inner world, to discover ideas that are waiting to be unearthed. Just like a flame that burns brightest when surrounded by darkness, your creativity thrives in solitude. The absence of distractions allows your mind to become focused, sharp, and clear. In this space, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly, understand your ideas more deeply, and connect with your creativity in a way that isn't possible when the world is rushing around you. The silence, in its solitude, becomes a spark that ignites your most original ideas, lighting up your mind with the glow of inspiration. You begin to understand that solitude is not a place to fear or avoid, but one to embrace. It is in these moments of stillness that your mind becomes free to wander, free to explore, and free to create. Without the constant pull of external distractions, you can focus entirely on your own thoughts, your own ideas. The quiet allows your creativity to flow more freely, unhindered by the noise of the outside world. In solitude, your mind becomes a canvas, ready to be filled with the brilliant ideas that arise when you allow yourself the time and space to think. As you sit in this solitude, you may notice that the ideas that come to you are often the ones that feel the most authentic, the most true to your own essence. When you are alone, without the influence of others, your creativity is untainted by outside expectations. It is in these solitary moments that your most genuine and original ideas can emerge. The silence allows you to connect with your true self, with the part of you that is capable of creating freely, without the need for approval or validation. In solitude, you are not bound by the judgments of others. You are free to explore new ideas, to take risks, and to fail without consequence. This freedom is the key to unlocking your most innovative ideas. The silence offers you the space to experiment, to play with different thoughts and concepts, without the pressure to conform to societal expectations. It is in this solitude that your creativity can bloom, unrestrained and unencumbered. As you continue to rest in this peaceful space, you may begin to feel a sense of clarity settling over you. Without the constant input from the outside world, your mind becomes more attuned to its own rhythms, to the subtle sparks of creativity that are always present, but often hidden beneath the noise. The solitude gives you the opportunity to connect with your inner world, to tap into the well of creativity that lies within you, waiting to be discovered. You may also notice how your ideas begin to evolve in this solitary space. Without external distractions, your thoughts can grow, shift, and develop in ways that they might not have been able to before. In the quiet solitude, your creativity can expand, filling the space with new ideas, new visions, and new possibilities. The silence, far from stifling your thoughts, actually provides the perfect environment for them to flourish. In this moment of solitude, you are free to explore your creativity in its purest form. There is no need to rush, no need to worry about the judgments of others. The silence allows you to create for the sake of creation itself, without the pressure to conform or to meet any external standards. It is in these quiet, solitary moments that your most authentic ideas can emerge, and it is in this space that your creativity can truly thrive. The beauty of solitude lies in its ability to bring you closer to your own creative potential. When you are alone, you are free to connect with your deepest thoughts, your most original ideas, and your true creative spirit. The silence becomes a mirror, reflecting the beauty of your own mind, allowing you to see your ideas more clearly and to bring them to life in ways that are uniquely your own. As you sit in the quiet, you begin to understand that solitude is not a state of emptiness or isolation, but one of deep connection to your creativity. It is in these moments of stillness that your mind can wander freely, exploring the vast landscape of your imagination. And in this space, your ideas are free to grow, to evolve, and to flourish. The silence becomes the spark that ignites your most creative and original thoughts, lighting the way forward as you embark on your creative journey. In the stillness, there is a moment where time seems to slow, where the world around you fades into the background, and all that remains is the peace of the present moment. It is in this pause, this brief space of rest, that your creativity begins to gather strength. Much like an artist before beginning a masterpiece, you take a moment to breathe, to center yourself, to prepare for the creative surge that is about to unfold. The pause is not idle, it is an essential part of the creative process. It is in this quiet, reflective moment that your mind takes a deep breath, drawing in the inspiration it needs to create. Your thoughts are not rushed or forced. They are allowed to rest, to breathe, and to gather themselves. In the silence, your mind is preparing for the next wave of creativity, the next burst of ideas that will come rushing forth. Just as the sea must calm before the next wave rises, so too must your mind find its stillness before creativity can flow freely once again. This velvet pause is not a lull, but a moment of quiet energy, a moment where the mind can regroup and focus its attention. It is in this stillness that your creativity is nurtured, that your ideas are allowed to settle into place, ready to emerge in their full form when the time is right. You may feel a deep sense of peace, knowing that this moment of rest is not wasted. It is preparing the ground for the creative ideas that will soon burst forth. As you sit in this moment of pause, you may notice how your thoughts begin to shift. There is no rush, no urgency, only the quiet anticipation of what is to come. The stillness has given your mind the space it needs to reorganize itself, to sort through the ideas that have been gathered and prepare them for action. In this moment, your mind becomes more focused, more intentional, ready to engage fully with the creative process. You might notice how, in this pause, your mind seems to become sharper. The silence has allowed you to filter out the distractions that often cloud your thinking, leaving only the most important ideas to surface. Your thoughts are no longer scattered, but focused, centered, and ready to take shape. Like an artist stepping back from the canvas to view the full picture, you begin to see your ideas more clearly, to understand their true form, and to feel ready to bring them to life. This pause, while seemingly quiet and still, is a time of great preparation. It is in this moment of rest that your mind gathers its strength, aligning itself with your creative potential. The silence allows you to reflect on the ideas that have been growing within you, to see them with fresh eyes, and to understand how they can be brought to life. Just as an athlete prepares for a race, so too does your mind prepare for the next step in the creative process. You may find that, in this pause, new insights begin to emerge. The stillness has allowed your mind to connect the dots, to find the missing pieces of the puzzle, and to understand how everything fits together. Ideas that seemed fragmented or disconnected now feel like part of a greater whole, like a beautiful tapestry woven from individual threads. The pause has given you the space to see the bigger picture, to understand how your creativity flows from one idea to the next, each one building upon the other, like the brushstrokes of an artist's hand. In this quiet space, there is no pressure, no expectation. You are not trying to force your creativity, you are simply allowing it to unfold naturally, at its own pace. The pause is a moment of surrender, a moment where you let go of any urgency or need to perform. You are simply present, resting in the stillness, trusting that your creativity will rise when the time is right. The quiet allows you to release any tension, to let go of any worries, and to fully embrace the creative process. The velvet pause is also a time for self-compassion. It's easy to believe that creativity must always be fast-paced, that ideas must come in an endless stream, one after the other. But in the silence, you come to understand that creativity is not about constant output. It is about allowing yourself the time to rest, to pause, to reflect. The stillness is just as important as the burst of inspiration. It's in this pause that your creativity finds its roots, its foundation, and its strength. As you continue to rest in the silence, you may begin to feel a sense of renewal. The pause has allowed your mind to recharge, to gather its creative energy. And now you are ready to dive back into the flow of ideas. The stillness has given you the clarity you need to move forward, to take the next step in your creative journey. You can feel the energy building within you, ready to burst forth like a wave crashing against the shore. The velvet pause is the calm before the storm of creativity, the moment when everything aligns, and the ideas begin to flow freely once again. It is in this moment of quiet reflection that you gather your strength, allowing your creativity to emerge from the depths of your mind, ready to take shape and become something beautiful. The silence has prepared you, and now you are. In the stillness, you begin to realize the true power of silence. It is not merely the absence of noise, but the presence of space. Space for your thoughts to roam, for your creativity to stretch out its wings, to soar freely above the limitations that normally confine it. In this quiet, your ideas are allowed to breathe. Without the constant pressure of distractions, they have room to grow, to evolve, and to take shape in ways they never could in a noisy world. Imagine your creativity as a bird, perched quietly in the branches of a tree, waiting for the right moment to take flight. The silence around you is the wind that lifts it, giving it the freedom to soar to new heights. In this peaceful space, your creativity is no longer bound by the weight of external pressures. It can move effortlessly, reaching new horizons, exploring new ideas, and discovering new possibilities. The quiet gives your creativity the room it needs to stretch, to grow, and to evolve into something extraordinary. As you sit in the silence, you may notice how your thoughts begin to open up. Ideas that once felt constrained, limited by the noise of the world, now seem to burst forth, expanding freely in all directions. The absence of external distractions gives your mind the space to explore without boundaries, to think without restrictions. In the quiet, you are free to let your imagination wander, to dream without limits. The noise of the world no longer dictates the pace of your thoughts. You are free to create at your own speed, to allow your ideas to evolve naturally, without interference. In the silence, you can feel the energy of your creativity shifting. It moves from a place of tension and struggle to one of flow and ease. The quiet provides the perfect environment for your creativity to thrive, like a garden where ideas can take root and bloom at their own pace. You may begin to notice that your ideas come to you more naturally, without the pressure of needing to force them into existence. The stillness allows your creativity to emerge organically, without strain or stress. It is in these quiet moments that your most profound ideas are born, ideas that would never have been possible in the midst of noise and chaos. The beauty of creating in the quiet lies in its simplicity. There is no need for complex strategies, no need to rush or compete with the outside world. In the silence, you can focus solely on the process of creation itself. It's not about achieving a specific goal or reaching a predetermined destination. It's about enjoying the journey, allowing your ideas to take shape at their own pace, and trusting the process. The quiet gives you the freedom to create without judgment, to explore without fear of failure, and to experiment without limits. As you sit in this peaceful space, you may feel a deep sense of connection to your own creative process. The quiet allows you to tap into the essence of your imagination, to connect with your true creative self. Without the distractions of the world, you are able to hear the whispers of your ideas more clearly, to follow the gentle pull of inspiration without interference. The silence creates a space for you to be fully present with your creativity, to dive deep into the flow of your ideas, and to watch them grow and evolve naturally. In the quiet, your mind becomes like a canvas, ready to be filled with the brushstrokes of your creativity. The ideas that arise in this space are not forced or rushed. They come to you naturally, like paint flowing onto the canvas, guided by your inner vision. Each thought, each idea, adds a new layer to the masterpiece that is unfolding before you. The silence allows you to step back and see the bigger picture, to see how each idea connects to the next, forming a beautiful tapestry of creativity. You may notice that in the quiet, your creative process feels more authentic, more true to who you are. The external noise, the opinions, and the distractions that normally shape your ideas have faded away, leaving you with the purest form of creativity. You are no longer influenced by the outside world, but are creating from within, from the deepest parts of your imagination. The silence gives you the space to be true to yourself, to explore your own unique vision, and to create from a place of authenticity and self-expression. As you continue to create in this quiet space, you may find that your ideas begin to flow more freely, more effortlessly. The silence has removed the barriers that once held your creativity back, allowing it to flow without restriction. You begin to trust the process more, knowing that your ideas will unfold in their own time, without the need to force or rush them. The quiet becomes a partner in your creative journey, supporting you as you move forward, allowing your ideas to take shape naturally. In the stillness, you also begin to realize that creativity is not just about producing something. It's about the process of discovery, of exploring new ideas, of allowing your imagination to roam free. The silence gives you the freedom to explore your creativity without judgment, without the need for immediate results. It is in these quiet moments that your most innovative ideas arise, ideas that you would never have discovered if you had been rushing, if you had been distracted by the noise of the world. As your thoughts continue to flow, you begin to feel a sense of peace and fulfillment. The quiet has allowed you to connect with your creativity in its purest form, and in doing so, you have discovered new possibilities for what you can create. The silence has given you the space to be free, to explore, to dream, and in this space you realize that there are no limits to your creativity. The quiet is not a barrier, but an invitation to create, to imagine, and to bring your ideas to life in ways that are uniquely yours. In the deep quiet, something magical begins to unfold. As the noise of the world slips away, your thoughts start to move with a kind of fluidity you may not have noticed before. Ideas that once seemed disjointed, fragmented, or disconnected begin to fall into place with ease, as if they are moving in harmony, like dancers in a beautifully choreographed performance. Each thought leads to another, and together they begin to form something greater than the sum of their parts. Your mind, once filled with static and chaos, now feels light, graceful, and free. The silence has cleared the path for your thoughts to move with purpose, with intention. The ideas that arise are not forced or rushed, they simply flow, one leading naturally into the next, creating a rhythm, a dance that feels effortless and organic. You realize that this flow is not something to be controlled or forced, but something that arises naturally in the quiet, when your mind is free to move without interference, Each idea that emerges in this silence feels connected to the others, like steps in a carefully executed dance. One thought flows into another, building upon the last, creating a pattern that is both beautiful and meaningful. It's as if the silence itself is guiding your thoughts, helping them to move in a way that feels natural, harmonious, and perfectly timed. The quiet has allowed your mind to release its grip on control and to trust in the process, allowing the ideas to evolve in their own time and space. This dance of thought is not a chaotic whirlwind, but a graceful, deliberate movement. Your ideas move through your mind like dancers on a stage, each one performing its role, each one contributing to the larger picture. You notice how each thought feels like a part of a bigger whole, how the smaller pieces begin to connect and form something more complex, more intricate, more beautiful. The silence has given your mind the freedom to explore, to dance with these ideas, to see how they fit together and how they complement one another. As the ideas flow, you begin to feel a sense of harmony within yourself. The stillness has allowed you to connect with your own thoughts, to let them move in alignment with your creative energy. There is no urgency, no need to rush. The thoughts come to you in their own time, and you move with them, like a dancer flowing to the rhythm of the music. The silence provides the perfect backdrop for this dance of thought, giving your mind the space to explore new ideas, new connections, and new possibilities without the interference of external noise. In this quiet space, you are not trying to force your ideas into existence. They arise naturally, moving together in a dance that feels effortless and beautiful. Each thought complements the next, and the flow of ideas becomes smoother, more coherent, as they weave together into something meaningful. It's as if your creativity is taking shape in real time, evolving like a living organism, responding to the rhythms of the silence that surrounds you. As your mind dances in this stillness, you begin to realize that creativity doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be forced or coerced into existence. It can be as fluid and graceful as a dance, flowing naturally when the space is right. The silence has allowed your creativity to unfold at its own pace, in its own time, without the pressure to meet any expectations. It is a gentle, effortless process, one that moves with the natural rhythm of your mind. You begin to see that the quiet is not just an absence of sound, but an invitation to dance with your own creativity. It's in the silence that you are free to explore your thoughts, to see how they move, to notice how they connect and interact. The quiet allows your ideas to take shape and form, not as isolated fragments, but as part of a larger interconnected whole. The silence gives your creativity the freedom to expand, to move, and to grow in ways that you may never have expected. In this space, your mind is not confined to any rigid structure. It is free to flow, to wander, to move in whatever direction feels right. The ideas that emerge in this dance of thought are not bound by rules or expectations. They are free to take any shape, any form, any direction, as long as they follow the rhythm of your own inner creativity. The silence has provided the perfect stage for this dance, allowing your mind to move without interruption, to explore without limitation, and to create freely. As the dance of your thoughts continues, you begin to feel a sense of connection to something greater. The silence, the space between the thoughts, becomes a bridge between your mind and your creativity, allowing you to access deeper, more profound ideas that were once hidden beneath the surface. The dance of your thoughts becomes a dialogue between your inner self and your creativity, a conversation that unfolds naturally in the quiet space of your mind. Each thought, each idea is a step in this beautiful dance, leading you closer to the creative breakthroughs that await you. As you sit in the silence, you begin to reflect on the profound relationship between creativity and solitude. Throughout history, many of the world's greatest minds have found their most significant inspiration in quiet, solitary moments. Think of the great thinkers, the innovators, and the artists whose work has shaped the world. Many of them, like Einstein, Newton, and Beethoven, sought out silence, understanding its vital role in the creative process. In these moments of solitude, they found the space to think deeply, to explore new ideas, and to connect concepts in ways that others could not. The silence, for them, was not an obstacle, but a fertile ground for their creativity to grow. It was in the absence of external distractions that their minds could truly stretch and explore, reaching new heights of insight and innovation. When the noise of the world was muted, their thoughts were free to roam, to wander, and to create in ways that would have been impossible in the chaos of everyday life. The quiet offered them the space to listen to their own inner voice, to trust their instincts, and to find clarity in the midst of uncertainty. You begin to realize that genius is often born from moments of solitude, when the mind is allowed to be free of the distractions that normally cloud it. The great ideas, the breakthroughs, the discoveries, they all require the space to grow, the time to develop. In silence, there are no deadlines, no demands, no outside pressures. There is only the mind, fully engaged in the process of creation, free to explore without limits. The stillness allows the mind to be fully present, to focus on what truly matters, and to connect the dots in ways that are not possible when distracted. The genius of solitude is not in its isolation, but in its ability to nurture creativity. It is in these quiet moments that ideas are given room to develop, to evolve, and to take shape. The silence allows the brain to make connections, to think deeply, and to find solutions that might otherwise be overlooked. Without the constant pull of external noise, the mind becomes sharper, more focused, and more open to new possibilities. The quiet creates the perfect environment for innovation to thrive. As you sit in this silence, you begin to feel a deeper connection to the creative process. The same stillness that inspired the great minds of history is now working its magic within you. The absence of noise allows your ideas to flourish, to grow and expand in ways that were once unimaginable. You begin to understand that creativity is not always about working harder, about pushing yourself to the limit. It's about finding the space to think, to reflect, and to allow your ideas to unfold naturally. In this moment of silence, your mind has the freedom to stretch, to roam, and to discover new pathways that you might have missed in the rush of daily life. Think about the way silence has shaped history. The most transformative ideas, from the theory of relativity to the works of Shakespeare, were born from moments of deep contemplation, moments where the mind could rest in solitude and find its true direction. In these quiet spaces, the great minds of history were able to tap into their creativity and bring forth ideas that have had a lasting impact on the world. Their ability to focus, to think deeply, and to immerse themselves in solitude allowed them to reach new levels of understanding and insight. In the same way, you can tap into this creative potential within yourself. The silence, like a canvas, offers you the space to create freely, without limitation. When you allow yourself the time and space to be present in the quiet, your mind can begin to work in its most natural, most creative state. The distractions fall away, and what remains is a pure connection to your own thoughts, your own ideas, and your own creative energy. As you reflect on the genius of silence, you realize that it is not just about solitude, but about giving yourself the permission to slow down, to listen, and to think deeply. The greatest minds of history didn't create their masterpieces in a rush. They created them in quiet, patient moments of introspection. They gave their ideas the time and space to develop, to grow, and to be refined. The silence allowed them to step away from the noise of the world and listen to the whispers of inspiration that came from within. The more you embrace this silence, the more you begin to see the potential within yourself. Just like the great thinkers of history, you have the ability to tap into your own creativity and create something that will leave a lasting impact. The silence is not a void, but a tool that can help you unlock your fullest potential. A space where your ideas can grow, evolve, and take shape in ways that you never thought possible. As you sit in this stillness, you begin to feel a sense of power within you. The quiet is no longer a space of emptiness, but one of great potential. It is in this silence that your most brilliant ideas are born, and it is in this space that your creativity can truly flourish. Like the great minds of history, you too can use the quiet to tap into your deepest creative potential, allowing your ideas to emerge with clarity and purpose. In the absence of external noise, your mind becomes a vast, empty canvas, a space where anything is possible. This canvas, untouched and waiting, holds the infinite potential of your creativity. The quiet allows you to step into this open space, unburdened by the constraints of what you've done before or what others expect of you. You are free to create, to imagine, and to paint your ideas with the full range of your creativity, without interruptions or preconceived notions. The silence that surrounds you is like the blank white space on a canvas, a place of pure potential. At first, it may seem intimidating. A blank canvas can feel overwhelming, full of infinite possibilities, but also full of the unknown. Yet, it is precisely this emptiness that allows for the greatest freedom. In this space, you can create anything, shape anything, explore any idea without limitations. The quiet removes the noise, the distractions, and the judgment, leaving only the freedom to express yourself fully, with no barriers to creativity. As you begin to paint your thoughts onto this blank canvas, you feel a deep sense of excitement, knowing that you have the power to shape and form whatever you desire. Your ideas flow freely, filling the blank space with vibrant colour, intricate lines, and beautiful patterns. The quiet allows you to take your time, to work slowly and thoughtfully, without the pressure to rush or to meet external expectations. Each stroke of the brush, each idea, flows effortlessly from your mind to the canvas, creating something unique and meaningful. The canvas of silence is not just an empty space. It is an invitation to explore, to experiment, and to discover. In this quiet space, you are free to try new things, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. The absence of noise allows your creativity to stretch and grow without the fear of failure or judgment. You can take risks, try different approaches, and explore new ideas without the pressure of needing to get it right the first time. In this space, there are no mistakes, only opportunities to learn and grow. Each idea that arises in the silence is like a new brushstroke, contributing to the masterpiece of your creativity. You may notice that your thoughts begin to flow in new directions, building upon one another like layers of paint on a canvas. The silence allows your ideas to unfold organically, without the need to force them into being. As the ideas build upon each other, they create a beautiful, intricate picture, one that is uniquely yours. The quiet allows you to see the bigger picture, to understand how all the pieces fit together, and to make connections that you might have missed in the noise of the world. In the silence, you begin to see that creativity is not about following a strict formula or set of rules. It is about freedom, about exploring the unknown, and about allowing your ideas to take shape in whatever way feels natural. The quiet canvas is yours to fill however you choose, with no right or wrong way to create. It is a space of experimentation, of discovery, and of self-expression. As you continue to paint on this canvas, you may feel a sense of peace wash over you. The quiet provides a safe, nurturing environment where you can fully express your creativity without fear of judgment or interruption. You realize that the silence has given you the freedom to be fully yourself, to explore the depths of your imagination, and to create without any limitations. The canvas before you is not just a surface to be filled, but a reflection of your inner creativity, a place where your ideas can be born, nurtured, and brought to life. The beauty of the quiet canvas lies in its ability to allow your creativity to unfold in its own time. There is no rush, no urgency. The silence gives you the space to work at your own pace, to refine your ideas, and to explore new possibilities. Each stroke, each line, each idea becomes part of the larger picture, contributing to the masterpiece that is uniquely yours. The quiet canvas allows you to take your time, to reflect, and to create without the pressure of external expectations. You may also notice how the absence of noise makes the act of creation feel more intentional, more focused. Without the distractions of the outside world, you can fully immerse yourself in the process of creation, allowing each idea to flow naturally and without resistance. The silence helps you to focus on what truly matters, your creativity, your ideas, and your ability to bring them to life. It allows you to tune out the noise and tune in to the rhythm of your own thoughts, guiding your creativity forward with a steady, calm pace. As you continue to paint your ideas onto the canvas of silence, you realize that this space has given you something invaluable, the freedom to create authentically, without fear, without pressure, and without judgment. The quiet has provided you with the time, the space, and the mental clarity needed to fully express your creativity. And as you step back and admire your work, you begin to see the beauty of the process, how the quiet allowed your ideas to unfold, how the canvas became a reflection of your own creative energy, and how each stroke brought your vision to life. The canvas of silence is yours to fill, and as you continue to create in this peaceful space, you realize that there are no limits to what you can accomplish. The silence has given you the freedom to explore, to express, and to create without bounds. And in this space, your creativity will continue to thrive, growing and evolving as you continue to paint your ideas onto the canvas of your mind. As you sit in the silence, something incredible begins to happen within you. The usual distractions that cloud your thoughts, the constant hum of life, the rush of information, the external demands on your attention, begin to fade away. What remains is a sharp, focused clarity. Your mind, once scattered, now feels as if it has zeroed in on one central point. The silence has given your thoughts the space they need to coalesce, to align, and to crystallize into something clear and tangible. The absence of sound acts as a magnifying lens, drawing your attention inward. Your thoughts, once disjointed and fleeting, now feel purposeful and intentional. With the noise of the world silenced, your mind can focus on what truly matters. Every thought, every idea, seems sharper now, as if the silence has heightened your awareness. Like a magnifying glass honing in on a single point, your focus has narrowed, and your creative energy is directed toward that singular, essential idea. You realize that the quiet has allowed you to see your creativity in greater detail, to understand it with more depth and clarity. In this space, you begin to see your ideas as if, for the first time, the stillness has allowed them to settle, to take form, and to rise to the surface of your mind. You can see the core of each thought, the essence of each idea, and you feel a deep sense of connection to them. The distractions of the outside world have fallen away, leaving only the pure, focused energy of your own creativity. Your thoughts are no longer scattered, they are unified, sharp, and ready to be shaped into something meaningful. The focus you feel now is not forced, but natural. It arises from the quiet, from the space that has been created for your mind to breathe and to think deeply. In the silence, your mind is free to dive into the heart of each idea, to explore it fully, and to connect it to other thoughts in a way that would not be possible in the noise of everyday life. This focused energy feels both calming and empowering. It's as if you are fully present with your creativity, able to give it your complete attention, to explore it without distraction, and to bring it into sharper focus. You might notice how this shift in focus makes everything seem clearer. Ideas that once felt vague or incomplete now appear with a new sense of purpose. The silence has acted as a lens, drawing out the details of each thought, allowing you to see the intricate connections that were previously hidden. It's as if your mind has been given a fresh perspective, a new way of looking at the same ideas. The focus you now feel brings a sense of depth and richness to your thoughts, allowing your creativity to unfold in ways that are more precise, more intentional, and more powerful. As your focus sharpens, you may also feel a sense of calmness wash over you. Without the usual noise and distractions, your mind is able to focus fully on the present moment. There is no rushing, no pressure to perform or create quickly. Instead, you feel a quiet confidence, knowing that your ideas are unfolding at their own pace, and that this stillness is exactly what your creativity needs to thrive. This calm focus allows you to connect with your creativity in a deeper way, to engage with your ideas from a place of clarity and intention. The silence has given you the ability to tune out the external noise, to filter out everything that isn't essential, and to focus your energy on what truly matters. You can now see your ideas in their purest form, with no distractions clouding your judgment. This focused energy is not forced or strained. It arises naturally, flowing effortlessly from the quiet that surrounds you. You realize that it is not the noise of the world that fuels your creativity, but the quiet, the space, and the focus it provides. In this quiet space, your thoughts become more purposeful. They feel more aligned with your true creative self. Each idea seems to have a sense of direction, as though the silence has given them the room to find their true expression. Your focus sharpens like the edge of a fine blade, cutting through the clutter of distractions and honing in on the essence of your ideas. The silence has given you the clarity you need to move forward, to create, and to bring your ideas to life. As you continue to rest in this focused silence, you may begin to feel a deep sense of accomplishment. The ideas you are developing feel more solid, more defined. They are no longer fragmented or hazy. They are clear, focused, and ready to be explored. The silence has created the perfect environment for your mind to engage deeply with your creativity, to refine your ideas, and to bring them into sharper focus. You are now in tune with your thoughts, fully present with your creativity, and able to direct your energy toward the heart of your ideas. You realize that this focused silence has allowed you to tap into your deepest creative potential. Without the distractions of the outside world, your mind has been able to dive deep into the essence of your ideas, to explore them fully, and to shape them into something meaningful. The silence has not just cleared the clutter, it has given you the mental clarity and focus to move forward with your creativity in ways that you may not have thought possible. And now, with your thoughts sharpened and your focus intact, you are ready to take the next step in your creative journey. As you rest in the quiet, you begin to feel a sense of nurturing within you, a gentle warmth that radiates from the stillness itself. This silence is not just an empty void, it is a nurturing force, one that cradles your thoughts and ideas like a mother gently holding her newborn. In this calm space, your creativity is allowed to develop slowly, naturally, without any rush or pressure. The quiet provides a safe environment for your ideas to grow, to take shape, and to find their form in their own time. Much like a seed being nurtured in the earth, your creativity requires time, care, and space to bloom. The silence acts as the soil in which your ideas are planted, providing the rich, fertile ground needed for them to take root and begin to grow. Without the distractions of the world, your mind has the freedom to focus on these ideas, to cultivate them, and to give them the attention they need to flourish. The quiet allows you to tend to your creativity with patience and love, giving it the room to evolve at its own pace. You begin to realize that creativity, like any other natural process, requires time to unfold. Just as a flower cannot bloom overnight, your ideas need time to develop and take shape. In the silence, you allow them to grow at their own pace, without interference, without pressure to hurry. The stillness gives your mind the space to reflect, to refine, and to allow your creativity to emerge fully formed, vibrant, and alive. As you sit in this quiet space, you can feel the nurturing energy of the silence wrapping around your ideas like a comforting embrace. The world outside may be busy, chaotic, and demanding, but here in this space of stillness, your creativity is free to unfold, unburdened by external pressures. Your thoughts and ideas are given the time and attention they need to grow into something beautiful and unique. The silence allows you to give birth to your creativity in the most natural, most authentic way possible. In this quiet space, your ideas begin to shift and take form. The silence has created the conditions for your creativity to blossom, allowing your thoughts to flow more freely, more clearly. The nurturing energy of the quiet helps your ideas find their way, allowing them to grow stronger, more defined, and more vibrant with every passing moment. You begin to notice how each idea that emerges is connected to the next. How the pieces of your creative puzzle start to fit together perfectly, like a beautiful tapestry woven with intention and care. The silence is like a warm, supportive presence, guiding your ideas from their initial spark to their full expression. It is in this peaceful space that your creativity is given the room to breathe, to stretch out, and to fully unfold. Without the noise and distractions of the outside world, your mind is free to focus entirely on the process of creation. The stillness becomes a place of incubation, where your ideas are allowed to develop naturally, without the rush or pressure of deadlines, without the need to conform to anyone else's expectations. You may also feel a deep sense of connection to your own creative process as you sit in the silence. The nurturing energy of the quiet helps you reconnect with the core of your creativity, reminding you that it comes from within. It is not something that can be rushed or forced. It is a natural process, one that requires time, patience, and space to fully manifest. The silence has given you the freedom to honour this process, to give your ideas the time they need to grow and take shape in their own time. As you continue to rest in the quiet, you begin to feel the first stirrings of your ideas coming to life. They are no longer mere thoughts or fleeting notions. They are beginning to take form, to gain strength, and to show themselves in their full, vibrant expression. The silence has given them the room they need to grow, and now they are ready to emerge, fully realized and ready to be shared with the world. You realize that creativity is not something that can be rushed. It is a natural unfolding, one that happens in its own time, when the conditions are right. And the silence, in its nurturing embrace, has provided those conditions. The stillness around you now feels like a gentle wave of energy, a quiet force that is helping your creativity come into its own. It is not a loud, disruptive force, but a subtle, patient energy that allows your ideas to emerge when they are ready. The quiet has cradled your thoughts, nurtured them, and now they are ready to be set free, to take form, to become something meaningful and real. You feel a sense of gratitude for this silence, for the way it has allowed your ideas to develop, to grow, and to blossom into something beautiful. As your creativity takes shape, you realize that the quiet is not just a passive force, but an active one. It has provided the space, the support, and the nurturing energy that your ideas needed to come into being. The silence has allowed your creativity to thrive, and now it is time for your ideas to emerge, fully realized, ready to be expressed. This process, this journey from idea to creation, has been made possible by the quiet, the nurturing force that has allowed your creativity to grow and unfold at its own pace. In this peaceful, nurturing space, you find that your creativity is no longer something to be forced or controlled. It is a living, breathing process that unfolds naturally, guided by the energy of the silence. The stillness has allowed your ideas to find their way, to gain strength, and to take shape in their own time. And now, as you look at what has emerged, you realize that the quiet has given birth to something truly beautiful, a creation that is uniquely yours, born from the stillness, nurtured by the silence. As you sit in the stillness, something begins to shift within you. The world, so often filled with noise and distractions, has fallen away, leaving only the quiet. In this silence, you realize that you are standing on the edge of something vast, something infinite. The quiet around you is not just an absence of sound, it is a space filled with possibility, a field that stretches out endlessly in all directions. In this quiet space, your mind is free to explore, to imagine, and to create without limits. Each thought that arises in the silence is like a seed, small and simple at first, but with the potential to grow into something extraordinary. You can feel the power of each idea, the creative energy that lies within them, waiting to be nurtured and developed. The silence provides the perfect environment for these seeds to take root, to grow, and to evolve into something unique. There are no boundaries here, no restrictions. In the quiet, anything is possible. The beauty of this moment lies in the realization that the silence is not just a void to be filled, but a fertile ground in which your creativity can flourish. In this space, you can explore ideas without the pressure to make them perfect, or to measure them against anyone else's standards. The silence allows your thoughts to evolve naturally, to grow at their own pace. You are free to explore the full range of your imagination, to dream big, and to let your ideas unfold without fear or limitation. In this quiet space, you begin to understand that creativity is not a linear process. It is a journey, a series of twists and turns, discoveries and explorations. The silence allows you to explore this journey with curiosity and openness, to follow the paths that emerge before you, even if they lead to unexpected places. Each thought, each idea is a possibility, a potential that can be realized in its own time. The quiet invites you to trust in the process, to let go of the need for control, and to embrace the journey of creation. You may notice how, in the silence, your ideas begin to take on a life of their own. Each thought builds upon the next, creating a rich tapestry of possibilities. What seemed like a small, insignificant idea at first, now feels full of potential. The silence has given it the space to grow, to evolve, and to become something more. And as you allow these ideas to expand, you begin to realize that the possibilities are endless. There is no limit to what you can create, no end to the potential that lies within you. In the quiet, you also begin to realize how much you are capable of. Without the distractions of the outside world, you can tap into your deepest creative potential, exploring ideas and possibilities that might have seemed out of reach before. The silence allows you to connect with your true creative self, to explore your imagination without the fear of judgment or failure. You are free to experiment, to take risks, and to push the boundaries of what you thought was possible. The quiet becomes a space of growth, a place where your ideas can evolve and expand. Each thought that arises in this silence is a seed that can grow into something extraordinary. As you sit in this stillness, you begin to feel a sense of excitement and possibility. The ideas you are developing are no longer confined by the limitations of the world around you. They are free to grow, to take shape, and to become something greater than you ever imagined. In this space of possibility, you realize that creativity is not about being perfect. It's about exploring, experimenting, and allowing your ideas to grow in their own time. The quiet has given you the freedom to let go of the need for perfection and to embrace the creative process fully. You are no longer concerned with how things will turn out or whether they will be good enough. Instead, you are focused on the joy of creation, on the excitement of exploring new ideas and new possibilities. The beauty of the quiet is that it allows you to dream without limits. It provides you with the space to envision a world of infinite possibilities, where each idea has the potential to grow into something extraordinary. There are no boundaries, no restrictions, no rules, only the freedom to explore, to create, and to imagine. And in this space, you begin to realize that anything is possible. The silence has opened the door to a world of endless creative potential, a world where your ideas can take root and flourish in their own time. As you sit in this silence, you may feel a deep sense of peace, knowing that you are surrounded by possibility. The quiet has provided you with the perfect space to explore your creativity, to let your ideas unfold, and to discover what you are truly capable of. You are no longer limited by the noise and distractions of the world. You are free to explore the infinite possibilities that lie within you, to create without fear, and to bring your ideas to life in their own time and space. In the stillness, you begin to notice something simple yet profound: your breath. Each inhale and exhale is a quiet reminder of the rhythm of life, the ebb and flow of existence. Just as every breath sustains your body, so too does silence sustain your creativity. It is in these quiet moments that your ideas, like your breath, are allowed to flow freely, finding their rhythm and pace, unfolding naturally. The silence allows your creativity to breathe. It gives your ideas space to expand, to evolve, and to take shape. Without the rush of daily life, your mind can breathe deeply, drawing in inspiration and exhaling thoughts in perfect harmony. The rhythm of your breath mirrors the rhythm of your creative process, steady, unhurried, flowing in and out, carrying with it the potential for creation. Imagine your creativity as a living thing, breathing in the silence, drawing from it the energy and inspiration needed to grow. The quiet offers a space for your ideas to be nurtured, to take root, and to grow into something beautiful. It's in these moments of stillness that your creativity finds its natural flow, just as your breath finds its natural rhythm. The quiet is not an interruption, but a support, a foundation upon which your creativity can thrive. In the breath of creation there is no rush. The silence allows you to pause, to take a step back, and to reflect. Just as each breath has its own time and pace, your ideas are allowed to unfold slowly, without the need for instant results or immediate gratification. You can take your time, allowing your creativity to grow at its own pace, to find its own rhythm. The silence becomes a safe space for your mind to wander freely, to experiment, and to explore new ideas without fear of failure or judgment. With each breath, you feel your creativity becoming more grounded. The silence has provided the perfect space for your ideas to take root, to grow strong and steady, just like the slow, deliberate rhythm of your breath. You realize that just as your body needs breath to sustain itself, your creativity needs the quiet to thrive. It is in the stillness that your ideas can breathe freely, without the interference of external noise, and it is in this space that they can grow into something powerful. The breath of creation is not just about breathing in inspiration, it is about breathing life into your ideas. Just as your lungs fill with air and release it, your mind fills with ideas and releases them into the world. Each breath, each idea, is an opportunity for new life, for new creation. The silence provides the space for these ideas to develop, to grow, and to take form, much like the steady flow of your breath nourishing your body. As you focus on your breath, you may notice how your thoughts begin to flow more naturally. Each idea comes to you in its own time, finding its place within the rhythm of the silence. There is no rush, no pressure. The silence gives you the room to explore your thoughts, to refine them, and to let them grow into something meaningful. Your creativity, like your breath, moves at its own pace, and in the silence you realize that this natural flow is what allows your ideas to flourish. In this space of quiet, your mind and body are in sync, moving together in harmony. The rhythm of your breath mirrors the rhythm of your thoughts, each one coming in its own time, each one adding to the creative flow. The silence, like the breath, becomes a gentle guide, helping your ideas to find their shape, to take their place in the larger creative process. Just as your breath sustains your body, so too does silence sustain your creativity. As you sit in the silence, you may begin to notice how your ideas start to connect, how they begin to build upon each other, just like the breath that flows in and out. The quiet gives you the space to reflect on your thoughts, to see how they fit together, and to understand how each one contributes to the bigger picture. The silence becomes a bridge, connecting your ideas, allowing them to grow and evolve as they find their place in the creative process. You realize that creativity is not a forceful, hurried process. It is like your breath, steady, rhythmic, and natural. The silence allows you to create without pressure, to let your ideas grow at their own pace, and to give them the space they need to flourish. In the quiet, you can feel your creativity breathing, finding its rhythm, and moving in harmony with your thoughts. The silence provides the foundation for your ideas to grow and evolve, and it is in this space that your creativity finds its true power. The breath of creation is a reminder that your creativity is alive, just like your breath. It needs space to flow, to breathe, to evolve, and in the silence, you have the perfect environment for it to thrive. The quiet is not an absence. It is a vital part of the creative process. It is in the silence that your ideas find their breath, their rhythm, and their power. Just as each breath sustains your life, each moment of quiet sustains your creativity, allowing it to grow, to unfold, and to take shape in its own time. As you settle deeper into the silence, you begin to realize something profound. Your mind is like a garden. In this quiet space, your thoughts are the seeds, and silence, like fertile soil, nurtures them, providing the perfect environment for them to take root, grow, and eventually bloom into something beautiful. The quiet is the garden, and your creativity is the sunlight that feeds the seeds of your thoughts. Without the noise, the distractions, and the chaos of the outside world, your ideas are allowed to grow freely, expanding into new possibilities, new directions, and new forms. In this space of stillness, you begin to see the potential of your thoughts in a way that you might not have seen before. The silence allows you to pause, to reflect, and to see the seeds of creativity that are already within you. Every thought, every idea is like a small seed, waiting for the right conditions to sprout. The quiet is the perfect environment for these seeds to take root and grow, without interference or distraction. The silence gives your ideas the time and space they need to develop, to grow strong, and to take shape in their own time. The beauty of this garden of ideas lies in its simplicity. There are no external pressures, no deadlines, no rush. Just as a garden requires patience and care, so too does creativity. The quiet provides the perfect space for your thoughts to grow at their own pace, without the pressure of the world telling you when or how to create. In this space, your ideas are allowed to evolve naturally, like flowers blooming in the warmth of the sun. You begin to see that creativity is not something that can be forced. It is something that must be nurtured, allowed to grow slowly and steadily, like a garden tended with care. You may notice how your thoughts begin to grow and expand, like plants reaching toward the light. The quiet has provided the perfect environment for them to take root, and now they are beginning to bloom. Ideas that once seemed small or insignificant now feel full of potential. The silence has given them the space they need to flourish, and you can see the intricate beauty of each thought, each idea, as it grows into something new. What was once a seed is now a vibrant plant, full of life, full of possibility, full of creative energy. In this quiet space, you also begin to see the connections between your ideas. Just as the plants in a garden grow together, interwoven, your thoughts begin to form a connected network. The silence has allowed you to see how each idea builds upon the last, how they intertwine and support one another. You begin to realize that creativity is not about creating isolated ideas, but about creating a whole, a cohesive system where each thought, each idea, is connected to the next. The quiet is the soil that allows these connections to grow, to strengthen, and to form a beautiful, interconnected tapestry of creativity. The beauty of the garden of ideas is that it requires no external effort, only space, time, and patience. Just as a garden does not need to be rushed, neither does your creativity. The quiet provides the perfect space for your ideas to evolve at their own pace, to grow into something new, without the rush or pressure of the world. In this space, your creativity can stretch its roots deep into the ground, drawing on the rich soil of your thoughts, your experiences, and your imagination. The silence provides the perfect environment for your ideas to flourish, and for your creativity to take root and grow stronger with each passing moment. As you continue to rest in the quiet, you may begin to notice how your ideas continue to evolve, like plants growing taller, fuller, and more vibrant. The silence allows your creativity to grow in ways that would not be possible in the noisy, chaotic world outside. In the quiet, your thoughts are free to explore, to expand, to intertwine, and to bloom into something beautiful. The garden of ideas is not a place of limitation, but a place of limitless possibility, where each thought has the potential to grow and evolve into something extraordinary. The more you embrace the silence, the more you begin to see the beauty of the creative process. Like a garden, creativity requires patience, time, and care. It is not about forcing ideas to grow, but about giving them the space to evolve naturally, to develop at their own pace. The quiet provides the perfect environment for this process, allowing your ideas to take root, grow strong, and eventually bloom into something extraordinary. In this space, your creativity is free to flourish, unburdened by the distractions and pressures of the outside world. As your ideas continue to grow, you begin to realize that this garden of creativity is not just a space for you to create, but a space for you to explore and discover new possibilities. Just as a gardener discovers new plants and flowers in their garden, you begin to discover new ideas, new thoughts, and new perspectives that you might not have noticed before. The silence has opened your mind to new possibilities, and you begin to see that the garden of ideas is not just a place to create, but a place to grow, to learn, and to evolve. In this space, you are free to let your creativity flow, to nurture your ideas, and to watch them grow into something beautiful. The quiet has given you the time, the space, and the freedom to create without limitation, to explore new possibilities, and to bring your ideas to life. You are the gardener of your own creativity, and the silence is the soil that allows your ideas to take root and flourish. And as you continue to nurture this garden, you begin to see that your creativity is not just a force that exists within you, but a living, growing thing, waiting to be cultivated, nurtured, and allowed to bloom. As we approach the end of this journey, you find yourself slipping back into the quiet once again. The external world, with all its noise and distractions, seems to fade further away, leaving you in a peaceful, serene space. This return to silence is not an end, but a return to the natural state of your mind, a state where your creativity can once again take root and grow. The silence that surrounded you earlier, that nurtured your ideas and allowed them to flow, is now inviting you back, offering its support as you continue on your creative journey. In this quiet, there is a sense of renewal. You feel the gentle embrace of silence as it wraps around you, holding you in a space where creativity can thrive. The world may still be bustling around you, but for now, you are at peace in this stillness, knowing that the quiet is always here for you to return to whenever you need it. The silence is not just a break from the noise, it is a source of power, a space where your mind can reset, reflect, and recharge, ready to bring forth new ideas, new creations, and new insights. You may notice that in this return to quiet, your thoughts feel clearer, more focused. The stillness has allowed your mind to breathe, to release the clutter and distractions of the outside world, and to connect more deeply with your creative potential. The silence has provided the perfect environment for your ideas to grow, and now as you return to it, you feel a renewed sense of clarity, a deep sense of purpose, and a stronger connection to the creative energy that lies within you. The quiet is not just a momentary escape. It is a return to your truest self, to the space where your creativity is free to flow. As you sit in the silence, you begin to realize that your creativity does not come from the noise and chaos of the world, but from within. The silence has helped you reconnect with that inner source, to remind you that your creative power is always present, always available, and always waiting for you to tap into it. The return to quiet is not just a pause, it is an invitation to continue your creative journey, to trust in the process, and to embrace the ideas that are waiting to unfold. In this space of quiet, you also begin to understand the importance of returning to silence regularly. Just as a gardener must return to their garden to tend to the plants, so too must you return to the quiet to nurture your creativity. The silence is where your ideas are born, where they are allowed to grow, and where they are given the time and space they need to develop. It is in the quiet that your creativity is nurtured, and it is in the silence that your ideas are free to evolve, to take shape, and to become something meaningful. You may feel a sense of peace as you sit in this return to quiet, knowing that it is not just a temporary escape, but a powerful tool for your creativity. The quiet allows you to listen to your own thoughts, to hear the whispers of inspiration that may have been drowned out by the noise of everyday life. In this space, you are free to connect with your creativity in its purest form, unburdened by distractions, pressures, or expectations. The return to quiet is an opportunity to reconnect with your inner self, to tune in to your creative energy, and to embrace the ideas that are waiting to emerge. As you sit in this silence, you may notice how your thoughts begin to settle. The chaotic jumble of ideas that once seemed overwhelming now feels more organized, more focused. The return to quiet has given your mind the space it needs to process, to reflect, and to find clarity. It is in this space that your ideas can take shape and develop into something more cohesive, more refined. The silence has allowed you to see the bigger picture, to understand how each idea connects to the next, and to feel confident in the creative process. You may also feel a sense of gratitude for the quiet, for the space it provides for your mind to rest and rejuvenate. In this moment of stillness, you are reminded that creativity is not about constant effort or pressure, but about allowing yourself the time and space to explore, to reflect, and to grow. The return to quiet is a reminder that creativity comes from a place of peace, a place of calm, and a place of trust. It is in the silence that your ideas are given the space they need to grow into something meaningful. As the journey through this silence comes to an end, you realize that this return to quiet is not an end, but a beginning. The quiet has helped you reconnect with your creative energy, to nurture your ideas, and to trust in the process. And as you leave this space, you carry with you the sense of calm, the clarity, and the inspiration that the quiet has provided. The silence will always be there, waiting for you to return whenever you need it, offering you the space to explore, to create, and to bring your ideas to life. As the night stretches on, you feel yourself sinking deeper into the quiet. The world outside fades into the distance, leaving only you and the soft, comforting embrace of silence. The rhythm of your breath becomes steady, and with every inhale you feel yourself growing heavier, more grounded. The silence wraps around you like a soft blanket, cocooning you in warmth and peace. In this stillness you realize that all is well. The world may be bustling outside, but in this moment, everything is calm, everything is at rest. The quiet invites you to let go of the day's worries, to release the tension in your body and mind. There is no need to think, no need to act. All you need to do is be. And in this moment, you are enough. The creativity that has been sparked in you continues to simmer in the background, ready to bloom at the perfect time. For now, though, you can rest easy, knowing that you are at peace with the quiet. It has nurtured your mind, it has opened your heart, and it will always be there when you need it most. So, let the silence continue to guide you. Let it lead you into the land of dreams, where new ideas will blossom, and where your creativity will continue to flourish. In the quiet, you are safe, you are loved, and you are free to create. If you found rest here tonight, let the algorithm know by liking this video, so more dreamers can join us. And remember, you're safe, you're loved, and this moment is yours to keep.